the program started. And of course, to MC our weekend's event, we have, once again, our dynamic leader from the Chicagoland area. So ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome our MC for the day, Mr. George Gossage.
How we doing, Vegas? You guys having fun? Awesome, awesome. Well, I tell you guys what, we are in store for an amazing next couple days. And on that note, I just want to acknowledge all you guys. I mean, for making the huge investment in time, money, energy to be here. And you guys rock. So I'm really, really thrilled to be part of this event with you all. And no doubt we're going to create some lifelong friendships as a result of this amazing cause. So as I like to say, welcome to the cause. Because guys, at the end of the day, it is a cause. You know, our product is water, but in the big picture, it's all about shifting the whole consciousness when it comes to healthcare. We got to get off this prescription-based nonsense and move into a preventative mode like our Japanese counterparts are doing. You guys game? Yes. Right place, right time. Check this out. It's funny how things happen. 6 months before I ever learned about this water, watching a documentary, and the subject of that documentary was that the future wars of the world 20, 30 years out wouldn't be over oil, precious metals, that it would be over what? Water, okay? Right now on your newsstands, liquid asset. You guys you're here to learn about how to move the business forward, right? You all need to get your hands on this one, okay? Check this out. The thing says, big business and the race to control the world's water, okay? We're in the right space, but you guys know that our water can do things that no other water in the world can, right? Come on, you guys. Hey, listen. Speakers up here need your energy. And I mean that sincerely. And I know the day is going to be long, but I tell you what, you guys really should pay attention because every person up here is going to have something to bring to the table. And it could be just what you're needing to hear to move your business forward. I was in Seattle about 6 months ago, and we did a Super Saturday up there. And afterwards, we did a leadership like brunch. And we asked every 6A that was in there, what was the turning point in terms of where your ENAGIC business shifted? And every single one of them actually talked about the fact that it was at one of these events that they attended that took that belief quotient from here to a whole new level. And at the end of the day, that's what it's about. It's the belief quotient. You're going to hear from some speakers, and everyone that's going to be up here, guys, is already doing it. Don't take advice from people that don't have the experience in what you're looking to learn. We ask for, financial advice, and we trust the plumber to give it to us. No disrespect, but you know what I'm saying? You know what? Guys, if this is where you truly want to be, and when you can move the business from here to here, you've arrived. And so that's our goal today, is to help you to move it from here to here. All right? And I'll tell you what, if after these 2 days your belief quotient hasn't moved in a serious vertical direction, right, then you missed the event, man, because I know the speakers, I know the subject matter that's going to be talked about. It's going to be absolutely awesome. So here's the deal. We have the same company, right? We all have the same company. We all have the same product. We all have the same opportunity. That being said, there are people that are absolutely blowing out businesses here. So what I'm saying that is then the only variable is it's us. Where are we in the belief quotients, in terms of company, product, opportunity, and in yourself? And when you can get rock solid there with our product, you guys, you become unstoppable. I'm here to tell you, I've been doing this for 20 years on and off. I've seen some awesome concepts and, things that hit the marketplace. This one is special. This is one that you're going to run into, something of this magnitude, maybe every 30, 40 years, if ever. Okay? You guys understand where we're positioned in the marketplace? We got the perfect complement to it all. See, if I'm selling vitamins, and Eileen over here is selling minerals, and Delroy behind her is selling another wellness line, guess what? We're all doing what? We're competing with each other. You guys understand that? And you know what? There's some amazing wellness products out there. But guess what every wellness protocol needs? Water. You got to have water to play the game. Next to air, remember, it's number 2. So we're in the right space. And you know what? From an opportunity standpoint, think about it. You hear about something, it's ground floor. That's when you really want to, get parked into a concept, right? Ground floor, but typically ground floor opportunity means ground floor risk. And for whatever reason, 18 months later, those companies aren't there any longer. Okay? We've got a ground floor opportunity without the risk. Okay? That is phenomenal. Okay? Less than 2% of the world knows anything about this water, yet you got a 37, 38-year-old Japanese powerhouse that controls the whole process from A to Z. Okay? So the only thing that's stopping us is us. How far are we willing to take this thing? And I don't know about you guys, but the picture I've got in my head is $1 billion. And $1 billion, I'll tell you what, $1 billion is a lot of money. There are people that throw around billions like it's nothing. Very few people and companies have done it. I believe we have the horsepower. I believe we got the product. I believe we've got everything in place here to take this thing to $1 billion. You guys game? So that's what I see. And as you're talking to prospects, depending upon where that conversation goes, you got to be able to talk a little bit about, the timing and opportunity here. And if you can't do it, you got to find somebody in your supporting cast that can. I'm going to tell you right now, probably less than 1% of you do the number of 3-way calls that you should be doing. Everyone comes here, looks for the magic bullet. There really isn't one, but if there's anything that's as close, you gotta involve other people in that recruitment process. And it is a process, guys. Right now, where we are in this life cycle, right, this product needs education. That's where we are now. You guys understand that? We're at that infancy curve, part of the curve. But 3, 4, 5 years down the road, as this thing starts to swell more and more, we're not going to need to spend 2 hours educating people about it. It's going to become pretty self-evident. And I'll tell you what, when that moment happens, that's when you want to have an army of people with you. Okay? So that's what we got. But there's going to be some naysayers out there. They're going to try to steal your dreams. And so here's the deal. We're going to probably talk about that why quotient all weekend. You got to be rock solid in terms of why you're here and what you're looking to accomplish. Who's read Think and Grow Rich? If you haven't, you need to. And I mean that sincerely, guys, and I've read the book over and over, and every time you read it, it has a different meaning. In there, they talk about in order to succeed, every huge fortune, you know what? Along the way, they just burned all the bridges. What do we mean by that? You know what? What do they say in poker? All in, right? I'm all in. If you want to succeed, you got to be all in. Because I tell you what, if you're not, the prospect picks up on it. So who's all in? You guys all in? All right, man. So we do have the right room. All right, well, listen. To start the day, here's what we're going to do. I've asked a few people to come on up and quickly share their story. See, what you guys got to learn to do is as you're working on your story, you got to be able to tell other people's stories. Because, guys, the stories bring out the emotion in people. And that's what you got to be able to get to is the emotion and the pain of it all. And we've got the perfect solution from a product standpoint, from a financial standpoint. We got the perfect mix here. So we just got to go get it done. So listen to these stories. They're absolutely amazing. And it cracks me up when you invite somebody to come learn about something, and they say, traffic, I can't drive 30 minutes. But you know what? That same message to a different person will fly 14 hours on a plane to come learn about it. Okay? And there are people that have done that. The room is full of you guys. I understand there's representation from 23, 24 different countries. And I tell you what, you guys rock, man. Thanks for taking that time and making the investment to be part of this. It's the first one of many. So when I do this, man, let's go. We're going to ride. You guys see this? When this thumb goes up, that means that we got to clap louder. Okay? So when I tell a joke, all right, deal. Game on. All right. So the first person, Luxembourg. Where is that? Who knows where Luxembourg is? Tiny little country in Europe. I tell you what, there's a lot of powerful people coming out of that little country. And this guy here, he's a champion. He saw it. And guys, let me tell you something. Most people that end up building a big business, they may not say yes right away, but in their head, you see it quick. So what you guys got to get good at, don't spend too much time with the wrong people. Okay? You guys got to really take that to heart. Don't take it personally. It's got nothing to do with you. It's just not the right time. And when they say no, guys, all they're saying is no now. In spite of the success that I've had, I have a friend of mine, he's in this room right now. It took me over 4 years to get him to say yes. But guess what? All along the way, we stayed in contact. I kept him abreast in terms of what was going on. And as crazy as it sounds, I never got together with him to give him the water. Okay? Big mistake for both of us. But you know what? He got on the water. He starts running these stairs. He lives in a high-rise in Chicago. This guy's an unbelievable athlete. Knee pain, a couple days on the water. Guess what happened? His mind went from glorified water filter to, man, I got to have this water. Okay? It's not a water filter, guys. And please, for everyone's sake, don't refer to it as a filter. Understand, I mean, this is medical equipment in Japan. We don't make that distinction here. We don't need to. But it's medical equipment for a reason. Okay? So, nonetheless, moving on, I'm going to invite up an individual. His name is John Clench. And I just got a chance to meet him here over this weekend, but I had heard their story. And guys, they got an amazing story. Nothing was going on in Europe, so these guys are what? They're doers. You'll find that everyone that comes up here and tells you their success story, you know what? Whether or not the upline was there, they were going to do it, with or without the upline. And you got to be of the mindset, you know what? Pretend you don't even have one. You know, pretend you don't have one, and if it's to be, it's up to me. So, you know what? Worst case scenario, if you got no support, you got to figure it out. There are people in this room, when they started 5 years ago, there was nothing. I mean, nothing to work with. Okay? But these guys are awesome, and I've asked them to come share his story. So this guy, all the way from Luxembourg, you guys. So give it up for John Clench. Come on up, Johnny. How you doing, baby? Pleasure.
Can you guys hear me okay? Okay, good. So, I try to make it short, but that's not so easy. So, I learned about this machine 2 years ago through a good friend from UK named Henry Martin. And when I saw this machine and I heard it is about alkaline water, it took my interest because I knew about the potency of alkaline water. I haven't heard that till that date about ORP or hexagonal water. And I took some time and I looked at the videos, and when I saw our friend George with the tea bag. I said, okay, I'm in. So I bought my machine, and then my friend Henry called me and said, hey, John, in a week there is a meeting in Düsseldorf. It's the grand opening for Europe. Okay, good. I'll go there in order to see Henry. I had just ordered my machine. It hasn't arrived yet because they thought Luxembourg was in England. They shipped it there. So it took a little while to get it. Yeah. And then I came into this meeting. It was a very small meeting, though. And I had invited 3 people. And one of the 3 people called me the other day and said, hey, John, I want to buy my machine. I said, oh, my God, what do I do now? I didn't know how to do it. I just invited that guy. I told him, hey, there's some drinks for free and some food. Come along and have a good time. He came in, what's this for? And I said, yeah, this is a machine for water. I said, oh, cool. He wanted to stay 30 minutes. He stayed in the karaoke till 5 in the morning. And 2 days later, he calls me. So that was a pretty funny story. That's how it got started. And in the last 2 years, I have slowly, steadily built this business. I have not really started yet, but it has spread quite out already through different countries, as my country is so small, and people often ask me, how do you so many machines in so small place? I say, I don't know, I do international first. Okay, I want to give you a hint. When I started, in fact, I ordered my machine for personal use. In the first hand, I was not that interested in the business. And it is, in fact, because I went to that meeting, I brought a guy there, and he got on fire. He kind of heated me up. So don't underestimate the importance of events. And when you go to every event and you bring one guest, you are going to be wildly successful. And one last thing I want to tell you is when you decide to do this business, you should put in your head that you are a 6A. Maybe not on paper yet, but in your mind. So that's what I did after the event. I said, okay, I'm a 6A already, although I was a 1A. Yeah? And that's what I tell everyone here in the room who's not 6A yet. Today, you are a 6A in your head. We have the gold standard, guys, and this is a unique opportunity, and we are so early in the game. Go for it, and have a lot of fun. Thank you.
Appreciate that. Congratulations, man. Great job. All right, you guys, come on. Yeah, that's it. Hey, guys, see how much better you feel when you applaud that way? Seriously. All it is, it's a transfer of energy. And as Mita talked about, you know what? When you're applauding, pretend it's your kid up here or your grandkid. And you'll feel better, and the person up here will feel special. Because let me tell you guys, looking at the big picture here, what you really want to do, at least my fantasy is I want to be in the back of the room, and I want to have my teammates up here. That's what it's all about. Okay? So, how many 6As are in the room? I tell you what, those of you whose hand isn't up, you better be over a 6A is all I can say. Okay? All right, moving on. This next story is amazing. Here's what you guys got to ask yourself. Am I willing to stay in the game long enough to bump into somebody bigger than me? That's the question. For some, it seems like it happens lightning quick. 30, 60, 90-day stories. You got to understand there's always a story behind the story. There's some phenomenal stories out there, but don't get caught up in comparing your story with someone else. Okay? You got to just be true to yourself. And based on where you want to be, everything is measurable in this business. If you're not getting the results, look at your numbers. Okay? How many invitations? How many people do I have on water? How many people are through that pipeline? Okay? Because that's what we bring to the table. Everything else is in place. We got to bring the prospects to the table. And you're going to learn from some master prospectors this weekend. This next guy is unbelievable. Let me ask you guys this. Who would walk away from a 60,000 people organization? Not many. This guy did. So, from an opportunity standpoint, guess what he sees? He obviously saw something here that was bigger than what he was doing there. For him to make that leap over, it's huge. And I'm here to tell you he's going to be one of the biggest earners in the company. My only regret is that he's not on my team. But this guy also figured out how to succeed in life. And you know, guess what it is, guys? It's recruit up. Okay? Think about that. Surround yourself with people that are better than me. And sometimes better looking than me helps as well. Right? So, AJ Krause and his beautiful wife Caroline have agreed to come up here and share with you a little bit about their story, what's happened with them, and what they see here. And these guys are absolute superstars. Okay, so you guys give it up for AJ and Caroline Krause, all the way from Alabama. Come on up, you guys. What's up, baby? Great job, man. Here you go.
Thank you, George. Thank you. Thank you. I've been accused of marketing a lot of health products over my years, and I've always marketed something I believed in. But my greatest sales job is right here, my wife.
Thank you.
We have 6 children, a little help from me and a lot from her. And we have raised our family in our homes. We've actually birthed them there, and we have raised 6 children in this industry. And we and I, you and us have... She's always pushing something at me. You and I have 2 things going for us with this company. Number one, we're in the greatest industry, the home-based network marketing, direct sales industry is the greatest way a family can make a living. And that's one thing we have going for us, because I've always believed that. 21 years ago, we were in a recession back in the late 70s, early 80s, and I couldn't get a job out of college, and I was forced to look for a way to make a living. And back then, 30-something years ago, to make a living from your home was a strange way, especially when your dad was saying, "Get a job, AJ, get a job." And Dad, I'm trying, I can't. But I made a living in this industry, learned it from the ground up, and went on to be with really only 2 companies. And the last company that I did leave, and it's true, we had a downline of 67,000 people. We had tremendous security. And I've heard people stand on stage with these stories, and I always believe that's not true. Nobody would walk away from a company that has afforded us millions and millions of dollars in income. And just to make a decision, we were forced to make a decision. We had that income, we had that company, and Caroline and I, somebody called us up on the phone and shared this water with us. Kathy Baskin, who is an RN, married to an MD, called me up, and I sat back in a chair and I said, well, I'll give her a shot at this, I'll listen to her. And she made sense, and it got my curiosity up. And then she sent Fred Brown on me. And Fred shipped us some water. And Caroline and I, was right around Christmas, and we got these 2 big boxes in the mail, and we were excited because somebody sent us a heavy present. And we opened it up, and it was a bunch of water. We were like, goodness. And she laughed, I laughed, and I said, but Caroline, there's something to this water now. I've been reading on it, and this is your box, this is my box. You drink it till it's all gone, and I'll drink it, and let's just see what happens. And we forgot about it. Well, some things happen in our life. For example, I've always been athletic. We exercise daily. My wife has taught 14 exercise classes from Monday to Thursday. 14, and she's instructor. At her age, I don't know anybody's age. to do that. But anyway, that's what the water's done for her and what it did for me. It totally changed our lives. But when we got that water, it ran out. Everything came back. And then we said, ship us some more water, because we wasn't convinced. And then the water, all the benefits, my knees quit hurting. Caroline's digestion issues got turned around. One of my sons, we have 6, he suffered from migraines, and it kept him from sports. In fact, our other 3 kids have all gotten Division I scholarships, and Taylor was the next one expected to get one, and he had to give up sports because of his migraines. Now he's being talked to by colleges everywhere because his athletics are back thanks to Kangen water. So we were forced with a dilemma here. Here is a company that I've been with. It's my retirement. I've made plenty of money, and my retirement was based on my downline. And I had to tell people about this water. And sure enough, we started sharing the water, and the most incredible stories we just couldn't believe people were telling us what this water was doing for them. I just thought, this can't be real. Water doesn't do this. And the stories kept coming in, and we got convicted, and we started marketing the product. And then we got a letter from our home office that gave us an ultimatum. You pick one company or the other, but you can't do both. And that was a very scary Friday. We got that, we had to sign for it. We opened it up from attorneys, and they were going to cut us off. And they were going to give us till Monday morning to make that decision. And Caroline and I prayed about it. And the conviction we had for this product was stronger than the security. And I believe the future looked better with this company than with that other company. There's just no doubt about it. We took one more check from that company, and when we gave them, we said we've made our decision, and it blew them away. Nobody could believe we would leave that and start fresh with a brand new company. But I had belief in this industry, and I had belief in this technology. And the other advantage we have on our side, you and I together, is, and I don't know if you believe this, but I believe it, but we've come to the conviction that, and we know pills, potions. Caroline and I owned a health food store in Mobile. And for 17 years, we marketed vitamins. And we've had people write us letters from the knowledge we had and from the coaching that we turned people's lives around. People have written us letters telling us that we're alive today because of the advice you gave us. So we knew some things about nutrition. And when we started giving this water out, we started seeing something happen. But I've come to the realization, both Caroline and I, that this water product is the greatest health product in the world. I mean, guys, what an honor and a privilege it is. In other words, I think the greatest calling may be a missionary or a pastor or something like that. And I wasn't called to do that, but I was called, and I felt led to market this water. And I believe I've got one of the greatest callings on the planet is to share this water. And I've seen lives turned around and people's finances, people's health issues just turned around. And from that conviction, we've got the most incredible future ahead of us with this company. And guys, this is the first time the company has ever put together an organized meeting like this. You got a 30-something year history company, and we're really just now getting started. So we're at the beginning of something great. So I praise God for this company, this water, and its leadership.
There was just a few things that he left out. It's really made a difference in our lives, and we've got 6 children that are phenomenal athletes, and they've accomplished amazing things this year. One of them is a decathlete that works out 5 hours a day. He keeps a camelback on his back and drinks this water all day long, and he's been able to break all his records. So we're just a big believer in it, and thank you for letting us speak.
Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations. 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 Hey guys, let me tell you the rest of the story though. Who would want to have AJ and Caroline in their group? Right? See, here's the problem. It's $4,000 for your machine if you got an SD501. And some think $4,000's a lot of money, and in respects it is, but not when it comes to starting a business. You guys understand? If you want business results, you got to treat this as a business. It's either part-time or full-time, not sometime. Okay? I always say this, but if you behave in this fashion, instead of $4,000, pretend you added 2 more zeros to it. Because in reality, if you want a traditional business, that's what it's going to take. Or 7 figures. Okay? This business model here, it's really a legal way to print money. But check this out. It's not at someone else's expense. There's a big difference between making money at someone else's expense or making money bringing and providing the ultimate service. Okay? Guys, we talked about this last night. This is not health insurance. What you're marketing is true health insurance. Okay? Seriously. But back to the story, you see Fred Brown overnighted 2 gallons of water. Not once, but twice. Fred Brown also paid for airline tickets and accommodations to get AJ to corporate. So what did Fred Brown do? He invested in his business. Okay? So that may have costed him $1,000, $1,500. He invested up front, just like we do with the machine. We invest up front, and check that out. Once AJ came to corporate, once he saw all of the behavior and how many people were coming in for water day in and day out, hour after hour after hour, and then he connected with some of the leaders, and guess what? That experience moved AJ from being lukewarm to, hey, I'm going to make a career out of it. Was it worth the investment? Yes. You guys agree? Yes. So ask yourself this question. Would you stay in the game long enough? What if it took 2, 3, 4 years to find one AJ Krause? Would you do it? See, the reality is most people won't. Most people, don't take this personally, 2, 3 years down the road, most of you, I hate to say it, at least if it follows pattern with the traditional home-based business arena, won't be here 2, 3 years down the road. Which means that something got in your way. Don't lose sight of this one, guys. This one, we're going to rewrite history. This is big. And when you really start to understand some of the exposure we're starting to get, you guys heard about the Chilean miners? Well, you guys know the former Miss, I think, Chile, Rosemarie, I forget her last name, she's part of our Bob Gradelli's team. Well, guess what? She got Kangen water down to those guys. And it was on the news. Okay? Celebrities, superstar athletes are starting to discover it. So guys, it's just a matter of time before more and more exposure starts to create, around this water, and that's where you want to be. You guys starting to understand? That's what's starting to happen. And the more of that we get, the easier it is going to be to get people to invest in this equipment. At the end of the day, it is the ultimate investment in health. And that's the space you got to come from. What you guys don't want to do is apologize that this is $4,000. No disrespect, but some of you, man, you know what? When the price is on the line, we all get squeamish and we start to cringe and apologize that it's $4,000. Guys, be proud that it's $4,000. Okay? Be proud that it's $4,000. I'm glad it's $4,000 because guess what I know? For the next 15 to 20 years, I'm not going to have to apologize to my customer. We talked about making money at someone else's expense. Think about it. If we sold a cheaper machine, like the other ones out there, and if you know they break down every 3, 4, 5 years, if you're lucky, what are we really doing then? The difference here, guys, is when you invest in the best, you don't have to apologize for it later. $4,000, it's the reason it's $4,000. See, at $4,000, we pay attention to it. And this one, I tell you what, this is where you want to be, marketing the best. So the point is we're going here from, it's going to get easier and easier to market it. One of the ways you succeed is you got to bring more people out to these events. See, I don't know about you guys, my head's saying, wow, I wish I had 100 more people in here. One of the keys to success is just being good at promoting the events. If the event is done right, and typically they are, the event takes care of the rest. You just got to bring the people. Think about where you would be leaving this event if you had another 10, 20, 30, 50 people with you. How much faster your business would grow. You guys with me? All right. This next story, I'll tell you what, this guy is a pioneer. Nothing was around when this company started when he caught wind of this. And he's got an unbelievable story. So sometimes when people say, you know what, I don't have the money, they just don't have the entire story. Because my belief is it's never about the money. It's about how bad it is and how uncomfortable are you to make a change. That's what it boils down to. And I'll give you a classic example. What's your name? Right here? Alon. If I pulled up to Alon's house, brand new $100,000 Mercedes. I want you to think about it. Pretend it's you. I pull up there, I hand Alon the keys, and I said, here are the keys, here's the title. Brand new $100,000 Mercedes. You know what? I'm in a jam. I need $4,000, and I need it in 72 hours. Guess what? I can promise you, within 72 hours, guess what he's going to have? He's going to have $4,000. Why? Because he knows in his head, worst case scenario, he could take it to a used car lot and get 20 for it. So what? He sees the value. I'm here to tell you guys, what we got is a gold mine. But it takes $4,000 for the shovel. Okay? That's what we're talking about. $4,000 in the big picture to build this kind of a business is nothing. And that's a byproduct. Because your head should be saying, I'm going to invest in this thing at $4,000 without a business opportunity. See, in my mind, if someone doesn't buy into the idea of owning the machine for themselves and their families, how successful are they going to be? Okay? This guy, back to his story, amazing leader. He's what I call our godfather because he really took it from nothing and just started to run with it. And you know what? Nothing was available. They just went and did it and figured it out along the way. Don't wait until everything's perfect. Get going. Monday, when you get back home or whenever that is, you know what? Take what you learn here and put it into play. It's going to do nothing if we take it and just shelve it when we get home. This story is amazing. So, guys, help me to welcome JV Pacifico. Come on, you guys. Okay. This guy has attained the level of 6A, 6'4", is it?
5'4".
6A, 5'4". That means that he's got 5 separate teams of 6As, but below those 5 lines, right, there are 6As, 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 probably about 100 levels down. Okay? I mean, this guy has got it going on, and he's got a great, great story. So you guys really pay attention, and it's very, very inspirational. Congratulations, man.
Thanks.
Awesome.
Good morning, everyone. Are you guys up? Yeah. I'm so excited, guys. I mean, it's amazing. It's an amazing journey for me. And I found about this, I learned about this technology way back 2004. My wife was suffering from a terrible, terrible rheumatoid arthritis. And her fingers during that period, she was, her fingers all started to deform, and she was in constant pain. She was bedridden for 3 months, and her weight drops from 130 pounds to 89 pounds. And, the frustration that I got is, the medication is not working at all. And the frustration also that I can't do anything, I can do nothing to ease the pain. Because if I touch her hair, she said she's in pain. And I said to myself, wow. But I'm a prayerful person. I pray. I said, God, send me something, to alleviate her pain. And a friend of ours was the one who actually knocked on our door 6 o'clock in the morning and said, JB, why don't you let your wife try this water? And the only question that I asked her is that, are these clean water? Because she carries those 2 gallons of Kangen water. She put it inside a black trash bag. And I was carrying this, and I said, okay, all right. And I said to myself, this guy, she must be kidding, But anyway, she just and I just asked her, I said, how do we drink the water? I was just kidding, And I said, now she became serious. I said, you got to drink this first thing in the morning, 1 hour before and after each meal, and have to follow the protocol. I said, fine. No problem. So my wife started drinking the water. In 2 days, she woke up one morning and said, you know what? I feel great. I said, wow, that is power, So I called her, the friend of mine, I called her immediately and said, where could we buy more of this water? And he said, it's free. I don't sell the water. But if you want to, you can come to my place every single day and pitch some water. And I said, it's impossible. My car is a junk car, for sure. It's a 45-mile drive from my place to her place. I said, no way, So I told her, I said, is there a way that you could deliver? I said, no. It's really far. She's old. So anyway, she suggested to me that, to go to the office, ENAGIC office, and to check it out, because the water that she gave me, she told me, comes from that machine. So that's where I went. I really forced myself, find a way to get to the office. And it's awesome, man. I was just there were only 3 Japanese employees during the time. The office was 500 square meter, that's it. And the second element that really convinced me that this machine is powerful, they have the big poster. It's all Japanese inscription with a picture of the machine, and down below it says, approved as medical device by Japan Ministry of Health and Welfare. I said, that's all I need to know. So I went and I asked the lady, how much would it cost? Believe me, guy, I almost fell down my seat. I said, whoa, oh my goodness, that's a lot of money. Now, my wife don't have a job, I don't have a job either, and I said, wait a minute, But in my mind, in my heart, I said, I need that machine. I really need the machine. So what did I do? I called my friend who gave me the water. I said, I need to borrow money from you. And I said, oh my gosh. I said, no, just a down payment, okay? Guys, it took them 1 week and a half to put the down payment together. And I was so excited. I was so elated. I went there. I have the checks. My wife issued a post-dated check. We got the machine, and off we go. I was so excited, to get hold of that machine. And we start drinking the water, she's just drinking the water religiously. 1 month after, I received a call from the office. JV, your check bounced. What? I said, no, that's not my check. That's my wife's check. And I said, man, the second month, the same thing happened. The third month, it bounced again. The fourth month, here comes the manager. JB, I want that machine in my office today. And I said, no way, over my dead body. No, I didn't say that over the phone. I didn't say that over the phone. I just no, I'm going to go and explain to them. Guys, I went there, find a way to get a ride, and I explained to him why I bought the machine. I said, my wife was very sick. And that's the reason why I bought the machine. And he's so understanding, and he said, well, go ahead, keep the machine for now, okay? Hopefully it will help your wife. Guys, 7 months after, we saw results. her blood pressure, her cholesterol level, and I see like her pain is getting, manageable. Her appetite starts coming back, and I said like, wow, this is really, really powerful. Now I was thinking of giving it back to ENAGIC. So I said, this is the only way is to tell people out there. I was getting serious, said, this is what we're gonna do. Because I figure if I go back, and find a job, it's not gonna happen. Because the most is $2,500 a month, right? Salary. My mortgage payment is $3,000, so it's not gonna happen. And guys, we were living in poverty that time. We live off on borrowed money. I just borrowed money from my friend. Don't do that, okay? But I did. I mean, I was so focused on saving my house and saving my wife's health, and now here I have to make a decision if I'm going to go back, working 8 to 5 or doing this full time. So we discussed it with my wife and decided, okay, we're gonna do this full time. That's when we decided to do it. Man, it's just like there's nothing out there. I mean, we don't have any tools just like you have right now, nothing. I have to do my own chart where the water comes out, press the button and said, okay, this is Kangen water. So we have to experiment along the way, So, but the thing that I want an emphasis on, guys, my decision was to really do this full time. Guys, I made 3 demos. I'm gonna make sure that I do 3 demos a day. Every single day. Guys, every single day. No matter what, I start from 9 o'clock. I make sure 9 o'clock, 12, and then 2 o'clock, and 3 o'clock. That's my schedule. Sometimes I go beyond that, sometimes 4. But listen to this, guys. For 45 days, I didn't make any sale. Not one sale. So if you multiply 45 times 3, it's about 120 demos, no sale. And I can't believe, because these are my friends. And I think some of them, I borrowed money from it, So, and I said to myself, man, So I really don't blame anyone in our situation. I'm a very positive person, okay? So I self-analyze myself. I usually do it 2 o'clock in the morning when there's no phone, nothing. I just like, okay, here it is. And this is what I found out, and it's very important, guys, okay? I realized that I was chasing money. That's what it is. And I think my friend and my associates feel it, that I need the money. You know what I'm saying? I need my commission. I need my commission, right? Because I need it. I really need it badly. I have 2 kids to raise, and my wife is sick, and I need, I have to feed her. And I said like, wow. But guys, I made my first sale 46 days after. Yep. And believe me, guys, the entire ENAGIC, there were 3 employees, the entire ENAGIC was having a party. They're like, yes, JB, go for it, man, yeah, I was so encouraged, and I said, let go, Guys, 2 weeks later, I received a call from the manager again, Mr. Fukudai. JB, your customer came in and just returned the machine. And I said, oh, no. I said, you can't take away my commission. Guys, I said to myself, wow. So I called my friend, he said, hey, why did you return the machine? I just want to know. He said, I found a cheaper machine. I said, a cheaper machine? Where? I didn't even know there's a cheaper machine out there. So that's when I really started, I sat down on my computer and just did a research, literally about 2 days. I just went through it, and then I realized they're not, they're not competition. That's what I said to myself. They're not, So I move on. I just move on, So then what happened, I found one person after the 51st, 51st person. So that's my 5A. And then that was October 2005, and that's when it started growing. That's our first, we were averaging about 100 units per month. Yeah. So I was so excited. And then the following year, Romy Verdera came aboard. Right? Where's Romy? Right there? Romy came aboard. But guys, you know, Romy's, these are things that if you really focus on yourself, you believe in yourself, you believe that it's going to happen, it will. Okay? Romy, we've been friends for many years. I know, 10 years, 15 years, and we used to work together in another industry. But think about this. I called Romy, his phone, is disconnected, but I have his address. I wrote a letter. I said, Romy, once you receive this letter, please call me ASAP. Okay? I have good news for you and your family. That's all I put in the letter. And Romy called. Romy called and said, hey, JB, what's the good news? Then I start my pitch, right? And what's amazing about this story, guys, is the address that I had, that was 3 years ago. You know, Romy moved from that address 3 years, you know? But the letter was still delivered. Okay, so I believe in that, you know. By the way, it took me a year and a half to become 6A, guys. It took me a year and a half, okay? So what I'm trying to, to give you, or the information that I want you to really learn, that's what I learned, is that number one, okay, you really have to believe in God. There's a Father Almighty, okay, that will guide you all the time. And that I believe. I believe in that. When I go out there, I always ask guidance, and I'm very comfortable with it. When I go out there, I know that I'm taken care of. And believe in the company. Really believe in the company, believe in the product, and everything will fall in place, guys. So it's something that really motivates you, you know. I have an emotional why, and that's the reason why I did it. I was just doing it. I'm angry with my situation, you know. When I said, we got to get out of this rut. I mean, there's no way. I mean, there's no other way. And I found the right product, the right, company, and I told myself, wow, it's powerful, really powerful. And also, keep in your mind, embrace the mission of the company. Up here on my slide, we've been hearing about change your life, change your water, change your life. That's just a slogan. But the most important for you guys to know is, where does the company stand? What's the purpose? And this is the purpose of the company, to spread true health globally with compassion, one family at a time. And that's what our mission is, right? And true health, in the eyes of Mr. Ushero, is what is his physical health, financial health, and peace of mind. And that's what ENAGIC is all about. And before I end my talk, I will call my wife.
Good morning, everyone.
I know she's emotional there. But look at her. From 89 pounds to 115.
And I can do this. That was, not heard of before. But anyway, I just want to tell you, I've been drinking the water for about 6 years now. 6 years. So I feel good. It didn't happen overnight. It was a long journey. And the most important is I'm here. Kicking back. And for the spouses out there, girlfriends, please give your partner 100% support.
Okay.
That's I have been doing until now. So if he comes home 2 o'clock in the morning, I always believe he's in a demo. Okay. And so once again, thank you for all of you and for all those who could not make it here today. And, and you know, let's keep going. Let's focus on the mission. And believe you, money will follow.
Yes. Okay, thank you. Thank you all.
And one more good news. Good news. I'm off medication since last month.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you.
Maraming salamat po.
Good stuff? All right, we're going to keep it moving here, you guys. And is that an inspirational story or what? Okay. Great, great people. Very proud, you know, that they're part of our upline leadership team, and they're just phenomenal, phenomenal leaders. The next individual, you hear her every Wednesday. She co-hosts a call that we've been doing now for about 4.5 years. And you know what? This is a woman that's paid her dues. Guys, as you're talking out there to people, there are people that are in the home-based business arena that are flopping around from one thing to another to another. And the reality is, you know what? You guys are going to be targets from other companies. You got to lock in on this thing and get laser focused. Because if you want to succeed, you just got to lock in and do income-producing behavior. And you're going to get a lot of training this afternoon from people that are just knocking it out of the park. This woman is doing that as well. You know what? In 4.5 years, she's built an absolute empire. But you know what? She's paid her dues. She's been in the home-based business for many, years, a lot of heartache. So she's paid her dues. Every, profession, you got to pay the dues. Whether you're an attorney, whether you're a doctor, whether you're a financial guy, you got to pay the dues. This woman paid hers, and I tell you what, she's been rewarded here. And she's an amazing, amazing woman, leader, and she's a dear, dear friend of mine. So you guys give it up for Miss Jeannie Basso.
Am I on? Hi, everybody.
Jeannie Basso, take it away.
Thank you, George. Good morning. Are you all glad you're here? I'm glad you're here too. We're already running behind, naturally, so I'm going to talk a little bit fast here this morning. But before I get into what am I talking about? Tips of the trade? I want to tell you a little story, just sort of dispel a myth. I think that just in talking to people sometimes, people have a tendency, I think, to think that me, George, some of the other leadership that have climbed up the ladder to success here with ENAGIC sort of, just immediately knew how to do this. Didn't have to go through any struggles, didn't stumble around. And I think it's important that you all know that I didn't just, pick up the phone one day and do a conference call with ease. Or, stand up here on the stage and talk to you, train. Believe me, there was a lot of struggling and stumbling. And I think I heard George say a couple of times, I've paid my dues. We've all paid our dues, and you have to do that. So I just really want everybody to understand I wasn't born this way. I had to work at it. Real quickly, this all started for me back about 17, 18 years ago. That's how long I've been involved in the sales and marketing or network marketing arena. And my daughter was very young at the time, and I knew I did not want a job. Single mom, I liked doing carpool. I liked being there when my daughter came home from school, being involved in school parties, all those things that moms do and love to do. I wanted to work from home. JOB did not work for me. So what I started doing is I started buying work-at-home magazines, business opportunity magazines, and reading all the ads. And I would sit there at night, and I would send off for the material. I mean, I had this little ritual every night after I put Ashley to bed where I would, oh, this sounds like a good one, and this sounds like a terrible one, and I would send off for these packages. Sometimes I even paid for them. I mean, I was serious about finding something. And then these packages would come in the mail, and I would sit at night and separate them. This sounds good. Oh, no, this sounds like garbage. But what happened in doing that is my name started to get on mailing lists. And I came home one evening on a late Saturday afternoon, and there was a message on my voicemail, and it went something like this. I think I might have been the first person this guy called, because he was really shaky in this message. There was no energy, enthusiasm. Hi, this message is for Jeannie Basso. Jeannie, my name is whatever. If I could show you how to turn several $100s into several $1,000s a week, starting immediately, would you listen to a 20-minute conference call? And I'm like, yeah, of course I would. He found a diamond, somebody who was hungry, willing to listen, learn, look, and I called him back immediately, and I think he was shocked. He had no idea what to say. I said, when is this conference call? It's coming up in a couple of hours. I watched the clock. I picked up the phone. I listened to that conference call, called him back afterwards. He put a couple people on the phone because I don't think he probably ever had anybody return one of his calls. He didn't know what to say. Put me on the phone with a couple of people. And I listened to this conference call, and I listened to people doing income testimonies and, you know, the kind of income that they had earned working from home. And I was just blown away. And I'm like, I can do this. And, but I didn't know how I was going to do it. Where was I going to get people to purchase this product? And you know what? The company and the product really aren't important. But I decided to do it. And I got involved right away, filled out the paperwork. And then I thought, how am I going to get people to join my business, team up with me? There were no meetings. There were conference calls, but there were no meetings to take people to. So I thought, I'll write a letter. And I sat down, I don't know, midnight one night, and I just composed this one-page letter. Just, you know, enough to get a person to call me and want more information. And then I thought, who am I going to send it to? So I got in one of my business opportunity magazines, and I found these mailing lists that I could buy. I paid $2,500 for a mailing list. That's how naive I was. Waited for my mailing list. It came. I took my one-page letter. I sent it out to about 200 people, and within days, my phone began to ring. I had no idea what I was doing. I was just making it up as I went along, thinking, hopefully this will work, hopefully this will work. Well, suddenly, 10 or 12 people called me. I did the same thing, put them on that conference call, did a three-way call, just exactly what they told me to do. And before I knew it, they're asking me, oh my gosh, everyone wants to see your letter. What is this one-page letter? Well, this is back when fax machines were like $1,200, $1,500, and I had no fax machine. So I was running over to this Kinko's every day and faxing my letter off to all the people that wanted to see it, and I felt like this movie star. Oh my gosh. I had no idea what I was doing, but I've created this famous letter, and I was faxing it to people and faxing it to people for days, and I thought, Jeannie, buy a fax machine. So I did. I invested in a fax machine. Then they asked me if I would get on the call and do a testimony. And I was like, what? Speak on a call? No way. I can't do this. No. I was petrified. But I thought, nope, you're a do whatever it takes kind of gal. You will speak on the call. I sat down. This was, I think, on a Monday. I was to do a testimony on the Wednesday night call. And I wrote out my testimony. And I edited it, and I practiced it in front of the mirror so I wouldn't sound like I was reading. And the call came up, and I was just a wreck to speak on that call, to do like a 1-minute testimony, a wreck all day long. But I got on the call, my turn came, I did my testimony, and you know, when I hung up, oh my gosh, I was so proud of myself that I had struggled through that, fought through the fear, and just done it. A few days later, did the testimony again within days, it was just second nature. I could pick up the phone without my little notes and just do my testimony, wing it. And then there came a day, several months after that, they wanted me to help host the calls. What? I can't do this either. There's just no way. Again, struggled through it, wrote the script. My point is, I decided to do whatever is necessary. None of it's easy. You just get out there, you figure it out, and you just do it. And if you're determined enough, that's not so difficult. But every single time you do that, you feel so much better. You know what? You've accomplished something so major. To do that testimony, oh my God, that was major for me. To get on that call and do just a 60-second testimony was a major jump in growth for me. And it's all about growing, stretching yourself. So anyway, what happened there with that particular business? I think the company blew up a year later, whatever. But fast forward then, 16, 17 years down the road, and I wouldn't even begin to torture you with all the frogs that I had to kiss along the way. But then came ENAGIC. And you see, one of the reasons that I was so absolutely certain that ENAGIC was the company that I'd been looking for is because as you take this journey in network marketing, sales and marketing, and you do kiss so many frogs and you have so many experiences, you do get a little keener and a little sharper about what's real and what's not. And I'm thankful for all the experiences, all the ups and downs that I've had in this business because of that, I was able to really see immediately that ENAGIC was what I'd been looking for. And I envy people that haven't had to go through the struggles that many of us had searching for that perfect company because I don't think you really appreciate what we have here with ENAGIC as much as many of us do. But I hung in there because I've always believed in this business. I love network marketing. I love the idea of residual income, building a team. Somebody introduced me to that concept years and years ago, and for me, it was love at first sight. My goodness, you need no particular background, experience, or education. You get to work from home, create your own hours, work with the people that you want to work with, and there's absolutely no limit to what you can earn. Of course, the secret is finding the right vehicle. So yes, it took me 16, 18 years or so to find that right vehicle. So what I want to talk to you about a little bit today is just some of the things that I did struggle with along that journey, in the hopes that maybe some of you that are brand new can master some things so that you won't have to struggle as much as I did figuring these things out. I don't know where they want us. I'll stand over here. Okay. Sifting and sorting. We're going to talk about apples. This is really important because once you master the sifting and sorting process, you will find this such a time saver. And one of the things that I find is that people, especially if they're brand new, doing this for the first time, you end up spending often too much time with the wrong people. Everybody is worthy of our time, but we're talking about building a business here, right? Are you all here wanting to really learn, how do I build my business? Isn't that what you want to know? Okay, so we all know we have an amazing product with our water. We know that's helping people, but we're here to talk about the business. Sifting and sorting is so, so, so important. Please don't spend time with the wrong people, okay? So, we got red apples. These should be easy to recognize. Open-minded, positive people, make decisions quickly, recognize opportunity. When you come across these are people that want to hear what you're talking about. They want to go to a demo. They want to listen to a conference call. You should be able to recognize these people very, very, very quickly. How many of you were red apples when you were first introduced? How many red apples? Wow. That's a lot of red apples. Okay, so these are the ones you want on your team. These are the ones that will lock arms with you and really get to work and go find more red apples. Okay, then we've got the green apples. These are people that, they can turn red. make decisions slowly, a little more analytical. They got to do a lot of research. That's okay. They'll think about it, get back to you. You always want to stay in touch with these people because, again, they can very easily turn into red apples. If they're a little bit over-analytical, no problem. How many of you were green initially? Stand up. I want to see all the green apples. Who was green initially? And today you're red? Good. That can happen. Nothing wrong with a green apple. But rotten apples, these are people, and again, you got to learn to identify these guys real fast. You should be able to. I mean, they're closed-minded, negative people, can't afford it, nobody else can afford it. It's all a bunch of hocus pocus. Do you ever hear any of these excuses? Excuses, too busy with the job that I absolutely hate. This is the thing that absolutely amazes me, is that, you can put an amazing opportunity in front of someone who's miserable in their job, they hate their life, and yet they won't open their mind and even try to see the opportunity. You've got to learn to recognize these people very, very quickly. I've actually had people bring me a three-way call with someone that I could tell immediately was a rotten apple. And I'm thinking, why have they even brought this person to a three-way call? Guys, these people will drag you down. They will try to steal your dream. Stay away from the rotten apples. Everybody agree? No rotten apples. Negative about everything. You want to surround yourself with positive people. Is there any rotten apples in here? Was anybody ever a rotten apple? Oh my gosh, did I see one guy? Okay, he must be green or red because he's here today. Okay, so that's rotten apples. Now, so you want to spend 80% of your time with your red apples, 20% of your time dripping on your green apples, and of course, how much time on rotten apples? Zippo. Absolutely no time. So again, this sifting and sorting process can really, it'll lessen your frustration, and the more you do this, the more you prospect, the more you talk to people, the better you're going to get at this sifting and sorting. You're going to learn to identify people, whether they're a red apple, rotten apple, green apple, so quickly. Do you know, oftentimes if I'm working with people on my team that are maybe running an ad, and I have this is a bonus tip I'm giving you. I have this little process I do where I say, okay, as the names come in, we'll get on the phone, we'll call them back. You're going to just sit there and listen quietly, and I'm going to just sort of interview them, find out, if they're red, if they're green, if they're really worth spending any time with, and then I'll kind of do the pitch and lead them through the tool process. And I can usually tell, oh my gosh, even on the message that they leave on the voicemail, whether they're rotten, green, or red. You guys, some of you know what I mean? You really will learn to be able to do that. You will learn to sift and sort that quickly if you just keep doing it. So, diamonds. This is even better than a red apple. These are people that are just waiting for you to come along, ready to buy before they even see a demo, can't wait to get started, full of enthusiasm, high energy, believe anything is possible, positive. You have these people at hello. And you know what? The guy that left that message on my voicemail back years ago, you know what? He found a diamond. You cannot say the wrong thing to the right person. You get a few diamonds sprinkled within your team, look out. A few Eli Daffishes, Danny D. McCauley's, those people, Bob Gradelli's, they see the big picture, they go after it, and you know what's great about those people, red apples and diamonds? They know how to focus on finding red apples and more diamonds. Because they are full of enthusiasm, and you know what? Nobody is going to ignore them when they start talking to them about ENAGIC or this water, because they speak with such conviction, such compassion and energy. How could you not pay attention to them? So those are, again, you keep sifting through the apples, and you know what? As you're searching for the red apples every once in a while, if you treat this like a business, a diamond will appear. And you just need a couple of those on your team. Like I said, you got these people at hello. Diamonds, be looking for those. Okay, you gotta learn to listen. If you don't listen, how can you even determine whether this person is the kind of person you want to spend your time with? One of the things I see people stumble on sometimes, they get so excited about talking about ENAGIC, and they know too much that they meet with a person, or they're talking to a person on the phone, and they just start to information all over them. They just talk and they talk and they talk and they talk, and they don't give that person a chance to listen or to ask a question. If you don't listen, you don't know what their hot button is. You need to know, are they money motivated? Are they health oriented? Are they interested in saving the planet? And that's kind of the direction you want to go in. So listen, let them ask questions, and find out where their hot button is. Don't just talk and talk and talk and talk. Same thing when you're calling back a lead or somebody off of a lead list. Listen to them. You can determine very quickly if it's the person you want to spend time with, and again, what is their hot button. So very important to just be quiet and listen. Earn while you learn, guys. Can I get some water? Somebody? Hot up here. When we all started back in this 4.5 years ago, remember, there were no tools, no systems, no nothing. I mean, you talk about the blind leading the blind. Sometimes I think it's confusing for all of you now because we have so many magnificent tools. There are so many wonderful DVDs. Thank you, you are my hero. It's good stuff. But don't think you need to know everything before you start talking to people. Remember, we had one tool back then. We had the Shinya DVD of before and after colons. We made hundreds of copies of those, and we sent them out to people, and we scared them to death. We didn't give away any water because there was nobody anywhere who had a machine, so we couldn't give away water. All we did was send that DVD to people, and they were like, how fast can I get my machine? So we couldn't answer any questions. I mean, we were out the day after we bought a machine doing demos. I mean, Mita was making it up as she went along. I don't think I even did a demo until I'd earned about $50,000. We didn't understand how the pay plan worked for months. We just went out and did it. But here's what we did know. We knew we had a company here we could believe in. We knew we had a product that nobody knew about and everybody needed, and we knew we had a business wrapped around it that was just about the fairest and the most honest we had ever seen, and we knew everybody could succeed at this. So we just went out there, locked arms, and we just, like I said, made it up as we went along. We knew nothing. There's still a lot I don't know today. People ask me questions. Shoot, I barely, some of them, I've never, this is true, never hooked up a machine. It's true. Never. And I'm a 2-4. Yeah, see? I mean, you don't have to know how to do everything to be successful in this business. You just have to get out there and start talking to people and believe what you're saying. Like I said, you can't say the wrong thing to the right person. You don't have to know everything. Don't overanalyze it. Earn while you learn, and what that means is use the tools. We've designed these tools for you to plug into. They can tell the story for you, answer the questions for you, and you guys know what they are. I mean, wait, did I go? There we go. Okay, the sizzle message. Is there anybody in here that doesn't know about the sizzle message? Okay, the sizzle message, 512-505-6833. 3 options on there. You've got a sizzle message talking about the company, another one, option 2, talking about the company and a little bit about the money. And the third one is about 16 or 18 amazing business testimonies. You got somebody that's money motivated? Let them listen to option 3 on that sizzle message. They'll be paying close attention. Hand them a DVD. Give out your business card with a sizzle message on the back, Wednesday night business presentation, Thursday night health and wellness call. Invite them to the meetings. And guys, 3 ways, 3 ways, 3 ways. Validate with 3 ways. You have no idea how powerful those are. All of the leadership, we still use one another for 3 ways. That is probably the most valuable tool that you have at your fingertips, okay? And you know what? Just do this over and over again. My time is running down here. Got that? Okay, I'll whip it back and leave it on when I go off so you can get it. We got to get through the rest of the stuff, guys, okay? Practice, okay? This is a great business. Again, you can create your own hours, work from home. You can work this full-time, you can work it part-time, but you can't work it sometime. Not just when the spirit moves you. Treat this like a business. If you really want to become a 6A, ultimately a 6A2 and above, treat this like a business. And do these things every day. Talk to people, drip on people, get water to people, get DVDs to people. Treat it like a business, okay? Very serious. Practice the 3-foot rule. My goodness, there's never been an easier, everybody you see has got a water bottle these days, okay? What a great way to start a conversation. Oh gosh, do you really know anything about that water you're drinking? I have a gal on my team that met a gal at an event. It was some sort of a personal growth seminar. She was drinking Penta water. She told her, you don't want to drink Penta water. Anyway, that prompted her to get this gal in touch with me. And within 4 months, that gal brought 100 to 150 sales to the table. Just because she had the nerve to tell her, you don't want to be drinking Penta water. So it's a real easy way to start a conversation. That 3-foot rule, talk to everyone you come in contact with. Eli Daffish is the master of the 3-foot rule. I've been to meetings where he walks in and he's got like 5 people he just met at the gas station. Unbelievable. Okay, persistence also. You know what? I like to say this business is 50% effort and 50% luck. Some of us are just lucky enough to find the red apples, the diamonds, a little more quickly than others. But of course, those who put forth the most effort are going to have the most luck. We got after this when we first started here with ENAGIC. We turned ourselves into little machines. There were days I didn't get out of my jammies. I was on the phone talking to people. And remember, we didn't even have conference calls or a sizzle message back then. It was nothing but 3 ways. Putting on people on the phone with 3 ways and getting that colon DVD out to them. And you know what, guys? I can't stress this enough. Please stay focused. You cannot chase 2 rabbits. There are a few people that can do it, but I promise you, if you stay committed and focused here with ENAGIC, you have no idea the gifts that are in store for you. There's nothing out there better than this. Nothing better than this. Trust me. I've been in this industry a lot of years, and I have seen everything, and nothing comes close to what we have here with ENAGIC in the way of a business or a product, and we haven't even scratched the surface. Stay focused. Nobody could get my attention for even 5 seconds to try to tell me about anything else, because I know there's nothing better. And that's the attitude you have to take. If anybody tries to talk to you about any other product or company, it's better, or, oh, I love this one. It works so well with the water. Don't buy into that. Please. What I say to people, they know better than to talk to me. I say to them, I am absolutely ecstatic where I am. I have never been happier, and you know what? I have a team that depends on me for leadership. And I am committed to those people who count on me for that leadership. That's my answer. Nobody could drag me away from this, not for a minute. So please, 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 stay focused. Do not let anybody defocus you. And don't let people rain on your parade. Real quick here. Shortly after we all got started with ENAGIC, there was a gal that came to one of our meetings. And she was so excited. She had a job that she hated. She had 2 small children. She saw the demonstration. She heard the business. And she said, oh my gosh, this is exactly what I'm looking for. She filled her paperwork and bought her machine that night. She was so excited. She wanted Mita and I to come out 2 days later to her place. I think we drove like 2.5 hours because remember, we're like, do whatever it takes kind of ladies. Yes, we'll be there. She was going to get her whole family and everybody she knew at a meeting. We drive out there. She's got her whole family and their kids. There must have been 25 people there. We did a whole presentation. They all acted like, wow, this is amazing. I'm so excited for her. We leave. The next day, she calls and cancels her order. After we left, they gave her a talking to. Are you out of your mind? You have 2 small children to support. You have a good job. What are you thinking? She let them steal her dream. Don't let anyone do that. Don't let anyone steal your dream or rain on your parade. People will try to do that, and sometimes it's family, and that's okay. They just don't get it. So the thing that helps there, too, is to stay plugged into calls, meetings, plugged into the energy. You know, you guys are all red apples because you're here at this event. You understand how important it is to be plugged in, feel connected, and build that belief. So, again, the people on your team, get them, keep them plugged in, and they'll keep that belief strong, and nobody will be able to rain on their parade. Okay, what's your why? This is very, very important. You gotta have a why. You have to have a why so big, so important in your life, why you want to do this, that it inspires you, motivates you every single day. And this was mine back then. And she's sweet. She was a little bit older than that when I started in this business, but she still inspires me every single day. In fact, here she is just a few months ago at her wedding. An absolute dream wedding paid for with stacks of commission checks from ENAGIC. Yeah, it was pretty amazing. And you know what? I want everybody here, we are one team, one dream. All of us here work together to help one another. So I don't want you to get all messed up with the, are you in my upline? Are you in my downline? It doesn't matter. And just to prove that to you, I want to give all of you my phone number. It's right there. Write it down. I'll be the first to admit, sometimes I'm tough to reach. But I will call you back, and if I don't, even George and others know, they just keep calling because I do get crazy, busy. But I'm going to go a step further. I have this amazing sponsor. He is so cool and so awesome. And look at that, available 24/7. Woo! Speaking of amazing, this is a word that you hear used a lot. Oh my gosh, they're coming to take me away. Amazing. I listened to a conference call one night and I heard the word amazing used like 52 times. And while you're here this weekend, you're going to hear it an awful lot. And you know what, guys? We can't help it. Everything about this is amazing. Absolutely amazing. And we want all of you to soak it up all weekend and take all of this amazing information and energy back home with you. Because you know what? ENAGIC is the goose that laid the golden egg. Do you all agree? Okay. Very quickly in closing. When I talked earlier about all the struggles, pushing through it all, stretching yourself so that you can get better and better and better at what you do, the one thing I left out is that as I fast forwarded to ENAGIC, I want you to really understand why I knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that ENAGIC was everything that I've been looking for. And that was that a company had blown up on us maybe 2, 3, 4 months before I did discover ENAGIC. A company that was about 2.5, 3.5 years old that we thought was solid and stable as could be. Blew up in our face. And I've always been one that could pick myself up, dust myself off, just keep going. But that really hit me hard. And I found myself like on my knees saying, Lord, if you don't want me in this crazy business that I love so much, give me another path to run on. And if you do, lead me to a company that's real. A company that's all about honor, integrity, stability, with a product that makes a difference, that has value, and a business wrapped around it where everyone can succeed. And it was 3 weeks later I found myself in front of an ENAGIC demo. And even back then, you know, with the funky little red and white check tablecloths at the office and their little tiny office in Torrance, and nobody spoke English. But you know what? I knew that I knew when I sat through that first demo that this was where I belonged and that I could lead others to follow me, lead others to ENAGIC and know that their efforts wouldn't be in vain. And one other thing, when they told me that I had to get up here and train today, I have to tell you, this is still one of the things I'm not totally comfortable with. I mean, I said, I'm busy. I have to wrap baskets, make bows, stuff them with goodies. I have to help with registration, you know, and this and that, and buy shoes and all kinds of other things. Any excuse I could find. And suddenly I said to myself, you know what, Jeannie, snap out of it and be a big girl. Get up there and tell them what you know and what you've learned. And you know what, guys? I'm here. And if I could just have shared one little bit of information, just one little thing, that perhaps inspired even one person, just one, to go out and do whatever it takes to change their life with ENAGIC, you know what? Then I've made a difference. And I think that's important. And you're all not that scary anyway. Thank you.
Come on, you guys. Come on. Awesome. Congratulations. God bless. Did you guys get some tips? Little golden nuggets? Good stuff. I'm telling you guys, sometimes you hear the exact same message, but it comes from somebody else and it has a completely different meaning and impact on us. And that, again, is another case to do three-way calling. Okay, so Jeannie did a great job. She gave you guys some really good tips, nuggets. And again, let's take them into the battlefield on Monday. Okay? The next speaker, I tell you what, I mean, this guy also is a true pioneer. His sponsor was in California. He was in New York. No one in New York knew anything about the water, including him. But I tell you what, if you look at his day planner for the first 90 days, I don't think there's one of you in this room that has a day planner filled to the degree that he has. And it's no wonder that he did what he did in the short time that he did, because you know what, guys? He put it all out there. He dove all in spite of the fact that his sponsor was in California. He's an unbelievable leader traveling all over the world. He's a 6A7-4. And for you big thinkers out there, he's into the multiple seven figures. Okay? And I tell you what, I couldn't be happier for him and his wife, because they're true, I mean, just awesome people that deserve all the success that they've had. So give it up, you guys, for Mr. Romy Verdera. Come on, Romy. Come on, you guys. Come on. All right.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, George. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm very grateful for today, because 55 years ago, October 16, 1955, I was born, so it's my birthday today. And I'm also very grateful to be part of this ENAGIC family. And I'm going to tell you the story of how I got started. Hopefully, we learn from that experiences. Okay, I came from the Philippines. What happened was, 2004, JB was sending me things in the mail. At the time, there were no brochures yet, so they were mostly photocopied materials. And when I get the mail, I would just like throw them away. I'm glad I kept his number. Anyway, after that, one of his downlines called me and told me how she gave Kangen water to her dog and her dog became well, and I wasn't interested. I've been beaten by a dog 3 times already. So you should make sure you know the hot button of the person you're talking to. Okay? And then November 2005, probably that's a year and a half later, JB came to my house from California and did the actual demo in my dining room. He left me with a gallon of the Kangen water. And after he left, I threw away the water. I still wasn't interested. 3 months later, January of 2006, he called me up and he said, Romy, the president of ENAGIC will come from Japan. There's a big meeting in California. If you want, I will pay for your airfare. I will pay for your hotel. I'll pick you up at the airport. I'll bring you back to the airport. And at the time, I was doing real estate, and I could not make any money in real estate anymore. I had no appointments, so I flew. And JB brought me to this meeting. And it was a Japanese meeting. There were about 500 people there, and the meeting was in Japanese. And I would say the people who speak English are JB, myself, and a few of JB's friends. But anyway, I understood 2 things. I understood that the water works, and I understood that the distributors are making money. And that was enough for me. I came back to New York, bought my machine. There's an ENAGIC office half an hour away from us in New York City, and I started doing the demonstration. Okay, I just remembered how JB did the demonstration using the pH tester. So that was my only tool, the pH tester. And JB used Aquafina, Dasani, 7-Up, and vodka. And I bought the same thing. So I was in people's homes doing that dropper presentation, that pH test. And I did 120 presentations in the next 3 months. And sold the first 100 that enabled me to become a 6A. Some people say that the American dream is over. People are losing their homes, people are losing their jobs. I think the only people for whom the American dream is over are people who have not seen ENAGIC. The American dream is very, very much alive in America today because there are companies like ENAGIC who provides opportunities for people like us who are willing to roll up our sleeves and work and make a better life for ourselves. We are here today because that American dream, that opportunity to better our lives is available in this ENAGIC company, and I thank God for it every single day. I came from the Philippines. My wife and I, we got married young. She was 18, I was 22. And we came to the United States after our wedding. And that was some 20-something years ago, 30-something years ago. And after 2 decades of pursuing the American dream, here I am, a Filipino who came to America and found the American dream in a Japanese company. We can do it. My wife, when we started, she had a 9-to-5 job for a bank in Wall Street, and I had a 9-to-5 job also, but I didn't last long. I had a 9-to-5 job until I was brought to an Amway meeting, and I was brainwashed, and I thank God for it. Because I won't be here if it weren't for that. I was exposed to the networking industry where we were told you don't have to have a boss, you don't have to work for the next 40 years sitting behind a desk. There are other ways. And anyway, that was the building where in Brooklyn, we live in Brooklyn, where my 2 sons were born. That was way back then, my 2 sons were born. And the good thing here in the United States, you can work and take that opportunity. And after saving up some money, we were able to buy our dream home. And our 2 sons were growing. We take some vacations every now and then. We were living comfortably until at one point we experienced some financial difficulties. And we lost that home. Okay, it was a sad time for us. But again, here in the United States, you can always try again. I remember my son, Jason, told me, he said, "Daddy, I saw a sign. They're accepting people, they're accepting truck drivers for the ice cream truck." And I said, "Jason, why are you telling me this?" And my son Jason said, "Dad, because, you're so poor." And I said, "Jason, I'm not poor. I'm a rich man who is broke." Tough times never last, but tough people do. I heard that from Robert Suller. So we worked hard and saved up money, and we bought a house again. And we were back on our truck. We were going on vacations every now and then. Again, my 2 sons were growing, and we were comfortable until about 5 years ago, 2005, when recession started happening again, and I was doing real estate still. I was running out of customers, and I could not make any more money in real estate. My wife was working for a hospital, and the hospital closed. So between the 2 of us not having income, we were about to lose the house again that we were enjoying. And that's when God sent an angel named JB. Okay, and JB brought me to that meeting in California. Actually, if you're a 1A on this meeting, you have a higher rank than me at that meeting. You have a higher rank than me if you're a 1A. I was just a prospect. And like I said, I went back to New York, started doing the presentation. I remember JB introduced me to Camstar, to Jack from Chicago, to Mr. Oshiro, and he said, "This is Romy. He will become a 6A in 3 months." And I thought you had to be a 6A in 3 months. I didn't know any other 6A then. Anyway, the second very memorable event to me, which was like this, was when the company had their 3-year anniversary at the Queen Mary in California. And on that event, I finally became a 6A. So I was so happy because I was a 6A. Again, if you're a 6A today, we're the same rank when I attended that meeting. And if you're 6A, 2 and higher, you have a higher rank than me on that event. Now, I'm saying this because I want to impress upon you the opportunity that's available to you in this business. And I will show you some pictures that's very memorable to me. This is Joe Reed and Anna Wilshire. They were 5A at that time. Today, they have hundreds of 6A below them. I would say the East Coast ENAGIC distributors are under Joe Reed and Anna Wilshire. They are here on this event also. You see here Cynthia Briganti. I believe she was 5 years there at the time also. You see there George, Jeannie, and Mita. Eli, and Jelena. We were 6As and 5As. We were just starting. I have here Terry, Ted, and Al. They are here today also. They were the ones who have organizations all the way to Guam and Vancouver and Orlando. And you fast forward it today, those pictures that I just showed you are the pillars and the foundation of this ENAGIC company and the people that they brought in. Okay? So, if you are a 6A today and higher, you have higher ranks than them at this event that I was showing you. And you have a great opportunity to become like them also. I came back to New York, started doing presentation again after that event, helping people to become 6As. Then I went to Guam, the group were growing. That's Maryland with Delroy, New York. Brooklyn, Fort Lauderdale, Utah, Nanuet, New York, Bronx, New York, Chicago, New Jersey, New York Cruise, Orlando with Brian, Georgia, Seattle, Kansas City. Okay, Kansas City. Is there anybody here from Kansas City? Okay. I was there, I think, maybe about a month ago, Kansas City. I was there some 3 years ago. There were 2 6As. Today, there are 20. And they are building quietly in Kansas City. But anyway, there, I found a lady. I don't have her picture because she said they don't take pictures. But this lady had no phone, no car. He said there's only one phone in the community, and they have to relay the information to each other. She belongs to the Amish or Amish community, and she became a 6A. With no phone and no car. And I said, I thought you don't have electricity also. I found out they have generators that they can connect the SD501. But this shows you nobody have any excuse not to be able to do this business. So while I was doing that, the West Coast, with the premier partner CYL, with Eli and Jelena's GU, and the power training by Daniel DeMcCallie, the West Coast, and the rest of the country are growing very, very strong. This ENAGIC company. Actually, the West Coast is growing, I think, twice as faster than the East Coast. Okay? But we're catching up. We're catching up. And then last April, Mr. Oshiro brought the leadership. They brought us to Okinawa and Tokyo, and there we met for his birthday. And there we met the Japanese distributors. We were welcomed. It was a great bonding moment for the United States and the Japanese distributors. This is my wife. That's our yard. She travels with me wherever we go. Where's my wife? There. Stand up. She supports me in this business. She's my secretary, my administrator, my travel agency, my cook. She cash the check too and keeps it. And she would say, where are we going next, Romy? Anyway, we went home to the Philippines. I built a house for my mom. That's my happy mom now. A few houses away from her, we purchased our own vacation home. And my wife and I goes home to the Philippines twice a year. Actually, we will be going to the Philippines next month for the opening celebration of ENAGIC. We have an office in the Philippines. And then we invested in a house in New York. My son, Jason, the second son, became a realtor. I don't understand. He sold one house and then he quit. He sold that one house to me. I remember he said to me and my wife, you know, Dad, this house used to be $1 million, it dropped to 800,000, and then 7 and 6 and 5, and it will not go any lower than 5. So why don't you take it? So we did. And guess who's living in the house? Him. And his wife. Anyway, this business also enables us every year. We're going this February again to go on medical mission to the Philippines, where we bring medicines and we travel with a group of doctors. We are also involved in building a housing project. Again, this is our church group, and we travel there and we build these homes for the poor people in the Philippines. Also, in the Philippines, there's no such thing as student loan. And we are able to help. I believe my wife and I are supporting 9 college students. We're paying for their tuition. Their nieces and nephews who normally could not afford college. My wife saw a local church and she gave them the money to build it. Change your water, change your life. It truly changed our life. I remember Robert Schuller said, when God wants to accomplish something on earth and he has a dream, he finds a dreamer to whom he could give that dream. And then he gives that dream, and that dreamer starts to support the dream and make it into reality. And at a certain point, the dream starts to have a life of its own, and it grows. And in the end, the dream supports the dreamer. If you are here today, you are that dreamer. Don't let anybody steal your dream. Thank you.
Woo! Awesome. Great job. Man. Wow.